The Darkside. 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 Another cold and lonely rainy day comes to an end. I have to clear my mind before I sleep, or else I tend to close my eyes and realize there's nothing there but light. I need shadow, I need the Darkside. The Darkside. The Darkside. The Darkside. The Darkside. The Darkside.
Hello, welcome to the Dark Side. Today we're going to talk about some conspiracy theories and random thoughts. Now, I had originally put this out on the page for fan input to answer any questions that any of our fans had or address any comments they had. But being that we didn't get the input that we were looking for, I decided to just surf the web and look up some stuff and see what might be interesting to talk about this week. So I came across some really interesting conspiracy theories and just some random thoughts, just out of nowhere. So before we go to that, though, we're going to go to our favorite fan, Jay Fubar. So here we go. Thanks. Thank you, Jay. That was really actually pretty good editing as far as the IMVU Avi, and that song was really, really quite talented. So, let's talk about some strange conspiracy theories that I found on the internet. And of course, if you have any comments or would like to add any conspiracy theories of your own, give us a call on Skype at wildchild3969. First one is hoax mass shootings. One conspiracy is that the idea that every mass shooting or terrorist attack that happens anywhere is actually a staged hoax, perpetuated to distract us from other things or to tighten the grip of the state on our freedom. Cries of false flag and hoax go up after every such incident, and there's no reason to think that this will ever stop. Of course, sometimes you have to wonder about the timing of these terrorist threats, and maybe there's something to this conspiracy theory. The government will compel vaccination. California's adoption of SB 277 and compulsory vaccination for school children kicked off a wave of conspiracy theories about autism, bans on homeschooling, and population culling. If the California law, scheduled to take effect in 2016, is successful in curbing the spread of vaccine-preventable diseases, expect other states to explore such measures. Conspiracy-driven opposition will, of course, follow. Now let's talk about a conspiracy theory involving Monsanto, which, of course, no corporation spurs more irrational hatred and fear than the biotech giant Monsanto. Will 2016 be the year that the GMO monolith finally tightens its already vice-like grip on the world's food supply, crushing all brave opposition in its path? According to food conspiracy theorists, Monsanto will have its tentacles in everything from coffee to salmon to spawning to heroin production. Okay, I haven't heard that one. World War III begins, engineered as a distraction. With Russia and the United States seemingly at cross purposes in Syria, could 2016 finally be the year World War III breaks out? Predictions of the U.S. going to war with either Russia or China are all over conspiracy theory websites, and they usually revolve around war being started by the powers that be as a distraction from the economic collapse and income inequality. I can't imagine that they would start a war just to distract us from the fact that, you have the haves and the have-nots. I really don't see that as a viable distraction. If anything, it'll exasperate those problems. And let's see, gas prices will be artificially moved around at will. Gas prices have hit lows not seen since 2009. Naturally, such price drops are perfect fodder for conspiracy theories. Could the drop in gas prices be a tactic to punish Russia, or the oil industry striking back at green energy technology, or a plot by Obama to retain power by getting the people on his side? All of the above? Expect prices to go back up since they're already too low, or keep going lower since they aren't low enough, or both. I actually, it's funny, with the oil prices being as low as they are, you would think that everything revolving around that, including your food prices, everything else should be dropping drastically as well, but yet it hasn't. So that kind of leads you to wonder if the reason that a lot of people blame the increase in prices for food and clothing and everything else is the increased price in fuel. Since the fuel is at an all-time low, shouldn't the prices of those things also be at an all-time low? The start of global depopulation. Could 2016 finally be the year that the Illuminati long workshopped plan to kill the majority of the world's population finally come to fruition? One expert believes that ISIS, with funding from the U.S. of course, plans to detonate an EMP that will eventually cause the death of 300 million Americans due to a complete blackout. Others have posited that tainted vaccines, foreign death camps, or biblical prophecy coming true will cull the majority of humans, with the survivors packed into urban ghettos thanks to the UN plot, Agenda 21. If anybody's got any feedback on any of these conspiracies, or you actually buy into them and you have reasons, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. United States of Islamic State. The global effort to defeat the terrorist group known as Islamic State is increasing, so expect more conspiracy theorists to claim that the U.S. is actually funding the group to either advance the Obama administration's grip on power or to distract us from something else they're doing to destroy America. Now here's one I often found kind of humorous. Donald Trump, Democratic plant? Could Donald Trump actually be a plant hired by the Democratic Party to destroy any chance the Republicans have of winning the election? Several political figures have pointed to Trump having made donations to the Clinton Foundation, as well as a conversation that may or may have not taken place between Trump and Bill Clinton, in which the latter encouraged the former to run. Trump has denied these allegations, and there doesn't seem to be anything for Trump to gain by faking a run for president. And he's actually doing quite well, so I don't know how much that theory plays into reality. Vaccinations cause autism. Donald Trump says so. The idea that vaccines cause autism and that the pharmaceutical industry pushes them out to make money certainly isn't new. But several high-polling GOP presidential candidates, including Donald Trump, Ben Carson, and Carly Fiorina, subscribe to some form of the debunked too many too soon argument, or believe that compulsory vaccination robs parents of choice. Expect this to be a major issue in the 2016 election, where a major issue is debated, conspiracy theories follow. The UN will finally usurp America's sovereignty. Cries that the UN is planning to take over the U.S. have been around for decades, but with climate change increasingly threatening the survival of humankind and President Obama slated to leave office, it seems like the perfect time for the UN to initiate world government and strip the U.S. of its status as a free country. Was the Jade Helm military exercise where government troops supposedly plan to take over of Texas just the first step? Obama himself might be hinting as much. I don't really see that happening. The day of the Antichrist. End of the world predictions are nothing new, with the major predictions centered around September 23rd, fizzling out in 2015. For 2016, consensus seems to be that it will be June 6th is the day the end times will start, so that would be tomorrow. Everybody get your suitcase packed. We're going on a trip on a UFO. Expect to hear more and more about this day until it actually passes and nothing happens. Then it'll be some other day, as it always has been. Wi-Fi allergies on the rise. In August 2015, a French court ruled that a woman was eligible to receive disability benefits due to having electromagnetic hypersensitivity. EHS is a vaguely defined disease that, while real, appears to be a result of psychological issues rather than an allergy or sensitivity to electromagnet signals. Psychotherapy has been found to be a good treatment for EHS rather than any medical intervention. Or is that what the power companies want you to think? Given the explosive growth of the Internet of Things and the presence of Wi-Fi signals everywhere, could more people be coming down with symptoms of electromagnetic sickness? Since EHS presents itself as a grab bag of maladies, including headaches, skin problems, mood swings, it's possible that you have it right now. And good luck getting your big pharma-controlled doctor to do anything about it. And now it's time to go to Jim and the Twisted News.
Today I'd like to talk about a little boy who tattled on his dad for running a red light when riding with him. When they got home, this kid called 911 and told the officer what had happened. It's great that we teach our children right from wrong, but this kind of behavior can also be socially and in some cases physically damaging to the child. When one is marked as a tattletale or narc, others will shy away from them or even physically fight with them. There is a fine line of when you should say something to the person doing wrong and when you should bring in a third party. What's your opinion?
Thank you, Jim. I read that story on Facebook the other day where that child, his dad had gone through a stop sign and then he had called 911 and ratted his father out. I think I would have sent that kid to his room for a very long time and made him pay the ticket. Anyway, now I have some random thoughts, just things that I'm sure everybody wonders about. If an ambulance is on its way to save someone and runs someone over, does it stop to help them? I would hope so. And why are there no B batteries? What's that about? If a jogger runs at the speed of sound, can he still hear his iPod? If man evolved from monkeys, how come we still have monkeys? When does it stop being partly cloudy and start being partly sunny? I have always wondered that myself. If you are bald, what hair color do they put on your driver's license? If a baby's leg pops out at 11:59 p.m., but its head doesn't come out until 12:01 a.m., which day is he born on? Good question. Always wondered that. If a mime is arrested, do they tell him he has the right to talk? In the song Yankee Doodle, is he calling the horse or the feather macaroni? Why do they have the word dictionary in the dictionary? Why is it that everyone driving faster than you is considered an idiot and everyone driving slower than you is a moron? Why do they call the little candy bars fun sizes? Wouldn't it be more fun to eat the big ones? What is Satan's last name? Why does quicksand work so slowly? If a ghost can walk through walls and glide down stairs, why don't they fall through the floor? Good question. Always wondered that. Is it legal to travel down a road in reverse as long as you're following the direction of the traffic? It's a good question. When atheists go to court, do they have to swear on the Bible? Another good question. Why is vanilla ice cream white when vanilla extract is brown? Always wondered that. Can animals commit suicide? If you have any of the answers to these questions, please feel free to call us on Skype. If a doctor suddenly had a heart attack while doing surgery, would the other doctors work on the doctor or the patient? How can something new be new and improved? If it's new, what was it improving on? Why do they sterilize lethal injections? The guy's going to die anyway. Why aren't drapes double-sided? Goat's calling. Let's see what Goat has to say. Hey, Goat. Long time no see. How are you, buddy?
Doing a little bit better. How you doing, Lily?
I'm doing good, honey. You been sick?
Off and on, a lot of seizures have been going on, and they've been getting pretty worse. That's why I haven't been really around a bunch of people lately.
I'm sorry,
but
honey.
I do have a couple of answers for your question. For the driver's license, if you are bald, they will ask you what your natural hair color is.
Good to know. Good to know. And what's the other one?
Satan's last name due to the Christians is Morningstar.
Oh, like the show, Lucifer Morningstar.
Exactly. And another thing I want to bring to people's attention, what the hell has happened to this damn country where parents are now apparently not reliable for their fucking kids?
Oh, you
Going
mean the gorilla
incident
baby?
with the damn zoo and the gorilla.
Seriously, right? And you know what? I watched that video, and to me, it looked like the gorilla was actually trying to protect the baby.
It was. Where the fuck was the mother? That's what I'm saying.
She was screaming. Didn't you hear her?
Where was she before the kid got into the gorilla pen?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that whole thing has got me so pissed off and caused a lot of seizures because the parents no longer have the responsibility of the kids. It's always somebody else.
Yep. They want to blame it on the state, blame it on the zoo, blame it on this, blame it on that. And it cost the gorilla his life.
And that's the sad thing, especially with it being an endangered animal. The mother should have been off her fucking cell phone and watching her kids. Honestly,
Amen,
this country
brother.
needs to...
Amen. Absolutely. I bet you she was posting shit to Facebook.
She was, or doing Twitter, or Instagram,
Yep.
or whatever else they have. I swear to God, this country needs to go back to the 1950s where the parents actually had full control of their kids and and when HRS or whatever it is, Department of Family and Services, could not do anything, beat the kids' ass.
Yep,
Because if you
exactly.
actually look back then, the crime rate wasn't as high. You didn't have disrespectful kids. You didn't have kids doing this. The parents were on top of the kids.
Yep. Well, you know, there were instances back then, even back then, where parents used TV as a babysitter. Now it's the internet. The internet and TV are their babysitter rather than them actually interacting with their children and seeing what their children are up to.
And then nowadays, it's not also the internet, the TV, it's also the freaking video games. The PS4, Xbox One. Especially with me playing Grand Theft Auto, you would be surprised on how many disrespectful kids there are on that.
Oh, I'm sure there are. Well, the whole game itself is set up to be a criminal, swag, disrespectful kind of game, so you kind of have to... It's almost expected. You know what I mean?
But see, here's the thing of it, though. It's rated M17.
And you have 12,
adults.
13, and 14-year-olds playing it.
You have 5-year-olds on there.
Oh, no.
You have 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up when it's an M17 rated game. Where's the parents on that one? Sitting on the couch, playing Twitter, or on the phone playing fucking Candy Crush.
Hey, I'm not one to talk. I play Cookie Crush. That's my thing.
But here's the thing, though. I guaranteed at that age, if that game system was around, I guarantee you would not let your sons be on there
You know,
at
it's
that
funny
age.
because I've had this conversation with my kids, and when my oldest son was young, what was it that was popular, Beavis and Butthead, he wasn't allowed to watch it. He wasn't allowed to watch it until he was 16 years old. And the little ones, the same with South Park and all those other games, and I monitored their internet, and they had a certain allotted time that they were allowed to play games, and after that they had to do something else. I think it was after 8 o'clock they either had to spend time with me, they had to be doing their homework, or they had to be doing something else. They couldn't sit on it all
you
night.
grew up in that age. I grew up in that age. Half the people that I guaranteed watch your show grew up in the age where as soon as we got done with our homework, where was the first thing we were at? Outside playing with our friends.
Yep.
We wasn't stuck in the house. Sitting on the video game going, ooh, I'm going to kill you. But
well, you know, part of the problem with the video games, and I do get it because I went through this with my oldest, is they become an addiction. You get that same rush from the video games that you do from drugs. So for a 8, 9, 10-year-old child, unless you force them to spend time away from it, they're too young to be able to rationalize it. So you actually have to force the issue. I can remember my son at 9 years old out in the back of the yard screaming that he hated me because I took him away from the video games and I made him go play outside.
Oh, I know. It's such a bad thing for nowadays. Kids wanting to actually go outside and play. It's like a big taboo now.
Well, I hope you feel better, Goat, and it's always great talking to you, honey.
Thank you. It's great talking to you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love talking to Goat. I do hope he feels better. And now we have some more of these questions that I'd like to ask. Why are the little styrofoam pieces called peanuts? Always a question. I mean, maybe because they're shaped kind of like peanuts. I don't know. If pro and con are opposites, wouldn't the opposite of progress be Congress? Why does grape flavor smell the way it is when actual grapes don't taste or smell anything like it? Do Siamese twins pay for one ticket or two tickets when they go to the movies or concerts? Good question. Why does caregiver and caretaker mean the same thing? Can a short person talk down to a taller person? Yes, they can. Know that from experience. If a bald person works as a chef at a restaurant, do they have to wear a hairnet? Good question. If milk goes bad if not refrigerated, why does it not go bad inside the cow? Always wanted to know that. Probably because it's sterile inside the cow. Bacteria can't grow. What's the difference between normal ketchup and fancy ketchup? Good question. I always wondered what the hell's the difference. It's all tomatoes. Why is the Lone Ranger called Lone if he always has an Indian friend Tonto with him? What was Captain Hook's name before he got the hook? Why do doctors leave the room when you change? They're going to see you without your clothes on anyway. Where does the toe tag go on a dead person if they don't have any toes? Why is there a disclaimer on the Allstate auto insurance commercials that says not available in all states? If a person dies and then springs back to life, do they get their money back for the coffin? Always wanted to know that. Do they bury people with their braces on? How far east can you go before you're heading west? Do dentists go to other dentists or do they just do it themselves? Do prison buses have emergency exits? Do astronauts change their clothes when they move over change their clocks when they move over different time zones in space? When lightning strikes the ocean, why don't all the fish die? Always wanted to know that. When two men get married to each other, do they both go to the same bachelor party? If a guy that was about to die in the electric chair had a heart attack, should they save him? Why are there interstate highways in Hawaii? Good question. If parents say never take candy from strangers, then why do we celebrate Halloween? Can a cemetery raise its prices and blame it on the cost of living? Do the minutes at the movie boxes include previews, credits, and special features, or just the movie itself? Can cannibals be arrested for being under the influence of alcohol if they have eaten someone who is drunk? Can atheists get insurance for an act of God? If Wile E. Coyote had enough money to build all that Acme stuff, why didn't he just buy dinner? Do Chinese people get English sayings tattooed on their bodies? Why isn't there mouse-flavored cat food? Bet you that would be a big seller. Can you plan a surprise birthday party for a psychic? If anybody else has answers to these questions or would like to add some of your own, call us on Skype at wildchild3969. How come lemon washing up liquid contains real lemons, but lemon juice contains artificial flavorings? Do you wake up or open your eyes first? I'll have to check that one out tomorrow morning. Did Noah have woodpeckers in the ark? If he did, where did he keep them? If the FBI breaks down your door, do they have to pay for it? In some books, why do they have blank pages at the very end? And why can't donuts be square? Why put a towel in a dirty clothes basket when you get out of the shower? You're clean. How can they arrest you for being legally drunk if it's legal? Why is there a problem? If there's a speed of sound and a speed of light, is there a speed of smell? Do coffins have lifetime guarantees? Do people in prisons celebrate Halloween? If so, how? Do the security guards in airports have to go through the airport security when they go to work? Why are all of Harry Potter's spells in Latin if they're English? What happens if a queen gives birth to a pair of Siamese twins? Who gets to be king? Why do they call them free gifts? Aren't all gifts free? Do all boys' schools have girls' bathroom? Do all all girls' schools have boys' bathrooms? Are children who act in rated R movies allowed to see them? How come cats' butts go up when you pet them? If a criminal turns himself in, shouldn't he get the reward money? Do the English people eat English muffins, or are they just called muffins? Why is a carrot more orange than an orange? How much deeper would the ocean be if sponges didn't grow in it? Why do they call it the Department of the Interior when they are charged with everything outside? Why does Jell-O have a smell when you add the powder in the water, but when it gels, the smell's gone? I always wanted to know that one. Why do people say heads up when you should duck? Why do they lock the lid on a coffin? Why don't women put pictures of their missing husbands on beer cans? Do bald people get dandruff? Why is it that no matter what color bubble bath you use, the bubbles are always white? Another one. What the hell? Why doesn't Tarzan have a beard? I mean, how does the guy shave? Whose cruel idea was it to put an S in the word lisp? I myself had a lisp when I was young, and yeah, that was a hard word to say. Why do superheroes wear their underwear on the outside of their clothes? If the Cincinnati Reds were the first Major League Baseball team, who did they play? Can you cry underwater? Here's another good one I always wondered. Why does Pluto live in a doghouse, eat dog food, but Goofy, who is also a dog, lives in a condo and drives a car? See? All good questions. And now for everyone's favorite part of our show, it is Ron's Corner. Coming at you, Ron.
Hey, 'cause I got high, because I got high, because I got
Thanks, Lily, and welcome to another episode of Ron's Corner. Got the passion fruit guava sour here. Let's take a drink. That tastes like juice. I want to talk about some things quick. All cults in this country, I think they should be taxed. That'll help out. I don't know why people are so subjective against metal music and have this claim like it makes them evil and shit. You're fucking stupid. So this week a gorilla got shot. Okay, but you know what? I really don't care, but I think the blame is the fucking parent because you gotta monitor your kids. You're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't have kids. Muhammad Ali died. Really don't care because he was a racist. Older women, they give better blowjobs. I know that for a fact. And I gotta bring up the hot chick. I think her name was Sierra in the group. Badass fucking pictures. Last but not least, I want to mention that penis pumps work. Now, on that note, let's get safe. Back to you, Lily.
Thanks, Ron. I love to hear Ron's thoughts on things. I was really hoping he was going to call in today, but it seems he's been rather preoccupied, or maybe he's just kind of taking a nap. So I really hope you enjoyed our random show today and gave you some interesting conspiracy theories and thoughts to think about. And join us next week for a new topic. And see you there. Have a great day, and thank you for joining us on the Dark Side.
gut, and I'm surprised the clouds have gone. I'm still in search for darkness, so I got to wait till dawn. The dark side.